So just waiting to for the video to show up, because I have been changing the audio, and I just want to make sure that it actually shows, and it should be live by now, right now. Okay, let me see. I don't see anything yet. So once the video starts showing and I can actually hear something, then we can proceed, guys. Let me see if it's gonna show a live stream. Okay, it's showing live. And let's see if I can hear the audio. It actually shows, and it should be live by now, right now. Oh, okay, it's good audio. Okay, alright. So we're good. Okay, I don't need to play that. Alright, welcome to Real Excel Epilepsy Portal. Today we are gonna be talking about dealing with the pandemic. Now, Virginia is not here for the stream. I have been asking her repeatedly to come on the streams. Now she has not been feeling well, and yes, she won't be joining us today, okay? So whenever she's not available, I'm still gonna be here for you guys. And what I'm gonna do is, when she says no, I'm not gonna disregard it altogether. I'm gonna be here for you, okay? And I'm gonna be doing a lot of live streams, especially for support, and I'm gonna be starting a Q&A about epilepsy, about seizures and epilepsy. And I really want you to be for those, because any questions that you have, you can ask them live, okay? And you can ask other people what their opinions are. You can chat with everyone, and so you know, that's a great thing to for people with epilepsy, and for their families as well, and friends, of course. Now, so on the topic of what's happening right now in the world, because this is what's going on, and obviously it's already been almost a year that we've been having to go through these difficult times all over the world. And I wanted to give you guys some pointers where it comes to dealing with a lot of things that emerge while being restricted even more so because of, well, our disabilities. And I'm talking about mine, which is a slightly different, but it's also a very limiting disability, and you know, limiting by means of being able to go out. And so in that case, it has not changed much for some people, because if anyone was, you know, homebound before this happened, then they're pretty much going about business like they used to. Because I asked Virginia if she wanted to be on the stream, and she said, and I said, well, we're going to be talking about you know, pandemic, and you know, how it has affected your life. She said, it hasn't changed anything. That's because I do everything. Okay, so I especially wanted to have this stream for the caregivers, because I wanted to be able to answer any questions that you guys have. And I'm still trying to show the page so I can come on the page and see you guys. I don't see the... This has been really slow. Okay, so there it is. Alright, I'm gonna open this so I can see the chat, because I was gonna answer from the chat on the from my phone. And yes, I know I'm doing it super late. I had it set up yesterday and I was gonna do it earlier, but things just didn't work out that way. Okay, so the first thing on the list is that I want to talk about the financial situation, because obviously the financial situation for many people already has changed quite a bit, and for some to the point where they cannot meet ends anymore, and having difficulties on getting food. Some people having difficulties with the shelter, and more than anything, when those things are not working properly, your safety and your well-being is obviously not where it should be, and we really have to address this. And more than anything, I want to get the message across to you that if you find yourself in a super difficult situation, that you go on any government contact government agencies. Okay, there are government agencies right now that if they can't help you, they will give you the information on where you can get help on the specific topic. Now, in each city, well, in bigger cities, obviously, there's more, help to get from the government, and more facilities and stuff. And so in your area, you need to ask your local information. Now, in Toronto, for example, we have two numbers to call. They're 211 and 311, and you can get information on those, on a lot of help, which is, I think it's 311, that will give you information on the communities, that will give you information on where to go to get the food at the food bank, because a lot of food banks are still operational and they are doing their best to help people. Okay, and they're actually super busy, because a lot of people don't make the money they used to, and so they do have to get extra help, all right, in that department. So number one tip for you, for the pandemic, for all of you, for caregivers, for people with epilepsy, for everyone in the world, is to avoid getting sick. Okay, and yes, it may sound like, oh yeah, well, duh. Clearly, okay, to avoid getting sick. And how? So I have a few pointers that I want to give you, and I know you've heard a lot of them. The reason why I will still say them is because if you're not applying them in your life, that means you still need to hear it, okay? And until you do apply what is the best practice in avoiding to get sick. All right. So the first issue is everyone has to go outside, even though right now we're at the lockdown, and all the essential, only you're supposed to go for food and to, let's say, doctor emergency, like doctor visit and stuff. So, which, I mean, I have been doing that in my life for the last like 10 years. I've only been going and doing things that I absolutely have to. And I have not been going out to even enjoy myself. So, like, I mean, in that department for me it's pretty much the same, except for the wearing of the mask, okay, which is super important. And I wanted to show you this. I really wanted to show you this because a lot of people say, oh, this is not going to happen to me. I don't have to wear a mask. Oh, I don't have it here. Wow. Okay, so I didn't get this set this up on this stream. Okay, that will be on the other on the health stream, so you guys can watch that one. Okay, sorry about that. So so wearing of the mask, and I have posted on Twitter, and I think it was in March, maybe April, when the pandemic, when the news about pandemic, that's when the pandemic came out a lot earlier, because I know myself and my daughter, we were both really sick. We both have had two cases of pneumonia, super bad and super hard, and we both have taken care of it at home, because I actually have, and I always have a lot of herbs, because I have a breathing problem, and I have problems with my lungs and accumulation of inflammation. So I have all those herbs at home, and I know all the remedies that that I apply when things go bad. That I go to my remedies right away. If something goes down, I have to go and get the herbs or whatever it is needed right away. Okay, so when so I lost my thought. Okay, so wearing the mask. Okay, it is hard already as it is. Like, I mean, for example, for me, everybody has to deal with everything. For example, when I take the dogs out, like I just want to talk about scenarios where you guys, you decide, oh, you're not gonna wear a mask because, oh, what the heck, I don't want to. It is for your safety. It is for safety of everyone around you. Okay, and everybody that is in your life. So if you guys are, you might catch the virus at some point. Obviously nobody knows the moment they get it, because it's invisible to the human eye. So people don't know when they get it, and they don't know when they're infecting other people. All right, so that's why the masks are so important. So even if you don't have a mask, I don't have a thing like that, but I've seen it in one of the movies. It was a really good movie. A guy actually tied up a shirt around his, like right here, and then over the head, and he tied it up at the back with the sleeves, and it made a mask. The only thing that was showing was the eyes. All right. Now, pay attention to where the viruses are airborne, and they can get into the person through their nose, through the mouth, through the saliva, through the eyes. So, I mean, if you're wearing glasses, it's a great thing, because that's your protection. And also, if you have through the ears. Okay, so that's how the bugs, they try to get in there any way they can, because they want to spread, they want to multiply, and it's so bad right now in the world that we have to talk about these things. We have to help each other, and that's what I'm here for. Okay, so next thing, other than wearing a mask and protecting everyone, okay, you're protecting when you're talking. Okay, so back to the mask. When you're talking, you're there's always a spray of saliva. We don't see it with the naked eye. We won't see it. All right, if you, like, let's say, put a camera and put it like under like a microscopic, or augmented the view, you'd be able to see that there's always like a vapor, and there's always like particles coming out of everybody's mouth when they talk. Okay, it's not just one person, not a particular person, it's everybody. And that's why the mask is so important. So when they that prevents you from infecting other people. Okay, that prevents other people from getting infection from you. And when they're wearing a mask, you are protected as well, because you're wearing a protective gear. Okay, So when it comes to protective gear, I would say, on top of the mask, like if you are in a high, like older age, and you have uh, other health issues, like we do, then protecting yourself, especially, with additional caution, is very important. Okay, so anybody in the family, any family member, don't bring anybody home that it's not like in your immediate household, that doesn't live with you. It's right now we need to stick together. We need to apply these rules for our life safety, okay? And we need to apply these rules to protect others as well. So, my daughter's young, and she wanted to bring some friends over, and I said, hey, I am sorry. But it's not happening. So she also had, she used to go to epilepsy meetings at the center, the epilepsy center here in Toronto. And it's called Epilepsy Toronto for those of you who live in Toronto, okay? And so right now they do have virtual meetings, so you guys may be able to sign up for that, okay? So I want you to look into it. If it's a family member or something, make sure that you get that information out, because everybody's going through a lot of emotional distress right now, and this will help a lot. So anything that will help other people in facilitating, making their lives easier in these very, very difficult times, help out as much and however you can. All right. If it's okay. So we were talking about the masks. We're talking about protecting ourselves and others. You love your family. You don't want them to get sick. So I told my daughter, don't bring anybody here. And I had to say it more than once, because after a couple of weeks, a month, she forgot about it again. And I said, you cannot. We are still in a pandemic. There's still a high risk. And you're bringing someone who's been who knows where, and who's been, they could be the carriers. They may not even show symptoms, and they could be the carriers. I said, no, it's not happening. Okay, so protect yourself in that way as well. And other gear, so I have mentioned the glasses, because that's the other gear that I wanted to talk about. So wearing glasses, if you don't wear regular glasses, you can wear sunglasses, or you can get safety glasses, which are usually, the cover right here. So you have really good coverage, right? Especially now in the winter, you put those, or even ski glasses, if they're not, too dark and stuff, right? So you can wear glasses that are protective here, and, you got a full face gear with the mask on, and you have and gloves. So I bought, at the beginning I still had gloves, because we have dogs, and when I wash the dogs or whatever, and the cleaning and stuff like that, so I always use gloves. And I actually started buying a year and a half ago. I started buying disposable gloves, right? Before that, because the gloves that I used to buy, they were like really, really good quality gloves. They were no longer available, so I had to go, somewhere else and find a different way of doing things. So the disposable gloves, I started getting used to them, and I put them on, and I put the mask on. I had glasses, obviously, before I leave my apartment. Okay. So before I'm out the door, I put it on. I make sure, because the particles can still be in the building, and that's why the rules in the building are, you're supposed to wear a mask. And if you live in a building, you're supposed to be wearing a mask in the hallway as well. And that protects other people, that protects you, that protects your family and your loved ones, all right? So gloves, mask, and glasses. So that's a lot of stuff. like to handle on top of everything else that's been happening. And like, I mean, when I go out with the dogs, I have to put the regular gear. I have to put a special gear on my one of my dogs. She has she has a bit of behavioral problems, so I have to put a special gear on her to make sure that I can now be able to handle her outside. And it's hard. It's like, oh my god, just to go outside I have to like deal with 20 different things just before I go outside, to take the dogs out. And the same thing goes for shopping, and people are not used to it. But it's now, I see a lot of people at the beginning. Let's say at the beginning, you would not see people actually wearing a mask outside until it started being mandatory in the stores. Okay, so inside the store, you would have people standing there making sure there is only a certain amount of people that get into the store, and they were making sure that people are wearing masks. Some stores were even giving masks away. So I think that was Sobeys and some other store. But if you didn't have a mask and they didn't have a mask, then you could not come in a store. And yes, that makes sense, and that's safety for everybody. So that's very, very much appreciated, and very smart on their part. Plus, it was the law, so. Okay, so yeah, you're going to grocery store, and you have to handle all of this. And so at the beginning of the pandemic, people were not really wearing masks outside. So you could see people walking, like, you go outside of your home and you see people walking on the street. Pretty much nobody wearing a mask. Right now, people walk with the masks on. Like, I mean, if you were super, super far away from somebody, you could still, put that mask down if you want to get like a better kind of catch of breath or whatever. And there's nobody around, obviously, you don't really have to super watch for that bug to get to you, right? If there's no strong winds. Now, if there's strong winds, you still better be wearing the mask, because the winds will carry the virus, all right? And that's why there's a lot of actually, I think that's why it makes sense, and I always go by common sense and what makes sense, that there's a lot more infections happening, especially in the fall. It's because the winds are strong. There's there's a lot of changes in the weather, and the winds carry very, very far, and the winds are very strong in the fall. And I think that's why things happen, right? Anyhow, so next on the ways of avoiding to get sick. All right, avoiding to get sick, because you're already dealing with your issues. I know how much I have an idea, not how everybody is going through things, but my daughter already had her epilepsy for many years, and so we can provide a lot of support in the way of being able to show our experience of what we have gone through and what has worked for us. Okay, so remember that I'm going to be having a Q&A live streams, and I'm still working on how I can get that information out to you, because when I set it up with the YouTube thing, and then I'm playing it from Streamlabs, then it's a different player, and then it doesn't have all that information when the video is actually live. So I'm still trying to find out how I can put those two things together, so I can actually have more people coming in on the live stream. And if you can let me know what would be the best time, like obviously during the day, because I just wanted to get this out, because I wanted to start creating, and I wanted to be here on a regular basis. So, and I'm going to do it I'm going to do it in the daytime for you guys. And I think I'd like to know what times would the best times be for you. Okay, you let me know if it's in the morning or if it's afternoon. What's the best time? Because there are some people who are still going to school. There are some people who are still working. So you gotta let me know. Like what, 7 o'clock in the evening. I could do it after my dance exercise on Twitch, which is like 1 hour of exercise and music on Twitch, and it's great entertainment, and you guys can come and have a few jump arounds with me, which I don't jump yet. That's gonna take a long time, okay? But yeah, that's the whole point is of getting there and working out every day for the health reasons. So what are other things that you can do to avoid getting sick with the pandemic? Okay, remember how I was talking about how wearing a mask, even if you wear a mask, if it's not one of those I think special 3M masks or whatever, they the other masks, they don't protect 100%. Okay, and so for the sake of that, so make sure that when you get home, so first of all, wash your hands before you even touch your face. Okay, so no face touching. Wash your hands, and make sure that you wash your hands with soap and water, with soap very, very well lathered, and you're supposed to wash it for a specific amount of time. So I would say at least a minute. I'm not sure what the times are there, but a minute to 2 minutes of just, I spent a couple of minutes on washing my hands. And I like the soap, and I prefer the soap to using the alcohol, because when you're using soap and water, you're lathering, you are washing the virus off of your hands. Okay, when you're putting alcohol on, you're not getting rid of the virus by washing it, by getting it off. So that's the difference. Okay, so washing using soap, the bugs don't like soap. All right. So I was getting at this because I was going to talk about the mask, and sometimes that I get my nose itchy. Okay, and that's a normal function of the body. The body is letting you know that there are particles that are trying to get into your lungs. Okay, that's why you get itchy. It's the whole idea, and the body is designed to, kind of, sorry to be gross, but to dig in there and to remove the bug, okay, or whatever it is that's, itching, and so using soap, okay, on the very outside. So I wash my face. After I wash my hands, I wash my face. Okay, I wash around my ears, because that's where the mask, you're actually using your hands. You put the mask on, and then you take it off. Okay, when you take it off, you've been outside. You have touched that area with, everything else. Even if you were wearing gloves, okay, if you take your gloves off, when you get home, okay, and then you take your mask off, all right, if you haven't touched your ears, I still always watch around my ears. I wash my ears because I've been feeling like itchiness and stuff a lot sometimes, and then if I didn't wash it enough, I would feel the itchiness for, let's say, 2-3 days, and then I would get ear infection. Okay, so I'm telling you guys, if you're having ear infections, in my health channel, actually, I will have I will have videos on that topic, and I will be talking about, how to help ear infections and stuff like that. But if you have ear infection, you need to wash your ears, you need to wash your nose. So I wash my face. After I wash my hands, face, ears, nose, and even sometimes, like, I get like right in there at the tip with the soap, and wash it off with water really, really well. You don't go too far, because that's gonna sting. Okay, but it will help you. I've had an itchy nose for about like a week. And without like really without having when people have like runny nose or anything. So without having a runny nose, I had, how sometimes you have a cold or a flu, and then there's like I think that's a cold. Well, there's like a redness around. I had that redness, and I just said, I'm just gonna apply like I had coconut oil, and I applied some lotion and stuff, and just to facilitate the dry skin. But I kept on washing it with the soap, and that's what helped me. Okay, so the next thing is to gargle. Okay, you gargle with if your bugs are in your throat, you need to get rid of the bugs by gargling. Okay, it is the best. Making sure that you brush your teeth, obviously, on a regular basis, and brush your tongue. Okay, make sure you wash your brush. Okay, and I'm telling you this: you wash your brush. You can wash it with soap, with not the soap for the body, but you can use I use dishwashing soap to wash my brush after I have brushed my teeth and my tongue. Okay, because you don't want that bacteria and stuff growing on it while that brush is just sitting there. All right. So if the bugs, if you feel that your throat is starting to, or your tonsils or your throat, you really need to address it right away. Okay, don't wait until it gets worse, because it can take from one day to, you start feeling a little scratchy and whatever. If you are not right away gargling and addressing that problem, the next day it's going to be worse, and the next day it's going to be worse, and I think by the fourth day they're already traveling to your lungs and the rest of the body, because that's what they incubate in the throat. So you guys have to, if you want to protect yourself, you got to really wash up and make sure that you gargle. Now, one of the best remedies that I personally use is sage. So I make a very strong sage tea. I wouldn't even say call it tea. It's like a sage, I think it's called decoction. When you boil it for like half an hour, so no, you don't boil it for half an hour. You boil it and then you simmer it for half an hour. Okay, and then you strain it, and then you can have it for like up to 3 days in your fridge, and then you have to make a fresh batch after that, fresh batch after that, and make sure that when you're gargling that it's warm. All right. Now, if you don't have sage, you don't have access to sage or money. Sage is actually quite inexpensive. All right. So I mean, for like $4. It was $4, $3.99 a pound in the health food store. So I bought like this much for $4. Okay. Now, mind you, different sage will has different strengths. So it also depends of where that sage is from, and what type of sage. There are different types, but any type of sage is going to help you in cleansing your throat. Now, this is the way that I prefer than any other way, but if you don't have it and you don't have the means to get it, there's always salt and water. Okay, now be careful with the salt and water. Salt is may be very strong, so make sure that you know how much salt to put in the water and dissolve it, and then gargle it. It cannot be too strong. It will burn your throat. It will burn your tongue. Now, I have run out of sage, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to make it a little stronger. I made a big mistake. My tongue I had like lines in my tongue of like broken. It broke my tongue, like it, and it hurt every time I ate something, because it made like really bad grooves in it. I don't know, I think after, when I was going with the brush, I think that's when I really damaged it. But the salt was the one that burned me, and that was the culprit, obviously. So make sure that when you are doing the gargling with the salt, that you use a proper amount of salt in the amount to the amount of water ratio. Okay. So next, after protecting your throat, okay, now let's say the bugs got to your lungs, okay, or you're having difficulty breathing. The way to address your lungs, okay, there are so many different ways, and so remember, I will be doing videos, a series of videos as well on my health channel, so Real Excel Health, and I will be addressing all of those issues, okay, especially anything that has to do with flu, with breathing difficulty, with pandemic, and but I will give you a few tips right now, because I want to make sure that if you're watching the video, that you get the value, and that hopefully you got all the way up to here. Okay, you're still watching. All right. So breathing. I've had a breathing problem for many years. I actually inherited bronchitis from my father, and I used to be a very heavy smoker when I was very young, and for many years, and then I quit. Okay. So, but the breathing problem stayed forever. So now I have to deal with the breathing problem. Okay, remember to hydrate. Okay, that I will also talk about the water. Okay, so the breathing problem, how to address that? Okay, so I'm gonna start with the most common folk remedy. Folk remedy means like really, really old remedy, going back years and years, which is water. When there's nothing else available in the world to deal with an illness, there are ways of using water to help the body to get better. Okay, so the water is one of the biggest saviors, as long as it's clean. Okay, and then it can help us to heal in a big way. So using water to help the lungs, one of the ways is to do vapors. Not vaping, okay, vapors. All right, so you do vapors with boil water. Okay, you put it in a basin or in a pot, and put a towel on your head. This is only for people who don't have epilepsy and don't have seizures. Okay, I'm not telling you, if you have seizures, please don't do that. This is only for caregivers, and this session is for caregivers. So if you have epilepsy, please do not do this one. There are other things to do, like in that case you would be using a humidifier, okay, in your apartment, and you'd have, because of the air drying a lot in the winter time, you would facilitate the moisture in the air. Okay, so it makes things easier for you to breathe, and it's gonna get your throat and your passages, it's gonna get it the moisture that it needs, and it will facilitate breathing, and it will help you get better. So this is super important, even to prevent getting sick. You need to keep, if your air is really, really dry in your apartment and you feel it, you really need to put that humidifier on. Okay, if you don't have the money for the humidifier, you don't have a humidifier, you can always boil a pot of water on top of your stove. Hi Sophie, how are you? Nice seeing you, girl. What's up with you? What's going on in your life? Tell us a story here. I'm talking about pandemic, and I'm talking about some ways of helping yourself to get through things. Well, if you get sick, or to prevent yourself from getting sick. You can go back and watch the beginning or the rest of the video later on. Okay, so next thing I was going to talk. So I'm talking right now about water. How water can help people to with their breathing difficulties. So in case that somebody doesn't have, let's say they don't have a humidifier, they can put water on top of their stove and have it boiling and just go through the apartment. Okay, so and then if they can be in the room. Oh, Mary, I didn't see Mary that you here. Sorry about that. How you doing, Mary? Welcome to the stream. So so you can also, if you have, a lot of people are very familiar with chamomile tea. Okay, chamomile tea is a very good tea. It's really good tea for drinking. Okay, it's a cooling tea. People, they think, oh yeah. So that's why it's very good for colds and flu, because it will help the body to cool off. It will help the body to it is actually, if you have your body feels like really dry, your skin and your passages feel really dry, it is very soothing. So chamomile is super good for that. And so you can add some chamomile tea while you're boiling that pot of water, and the vapors are spreading all over your house or apartment. And you can add mint to it if you have mint. So mint tea, or get some mint at the health food store and just throw some in there. Okay, don't put too much. You don't need to, because when it's boiling, it's actually gonna go all over your house, and your house is gonna smell great. It's gonna smell like chamomile and mint, which is super yummy. Okay. Now you can always drink. You can always strain it later, and you can drink that, which is also gonna help you with colds and flu. So Mary, I am doing okay and trying not to get the COVID. Yes. So like I'm already at that age when they're saying I'm at the higher risk, and obviously my weight and stuff. So I've been really careful, and I don't know how long you've been here for the video. So if you were here for the part where I was talking about protecting yourself and wearing all the masks and stuff like that. Alright, but that's and when my daughter was trying to like bring her friends home and stuff like that, and I said no, it's not happening because of the safety. So we gotta go through this. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu was around about 100 years ago. And so as soon as this pandemic came out, I did my homework. And okay, you have a roommate who, oh my goodness. And so where's the roommate? Is the roommate still at home? She so sick, or like what's going on? Tell us the story. Okay, because yeah, that's you got to keep, if your roommate is home, is in the same household as you are. Okay, you first of all, you got to keep your door closed to your room. You must pretty much wash and spray everything. I don't have a spray bottle here, but I make my own mixture of a spray bottle with soap, and I really spray, like, even like I know my daughter is not sick or anything, but I want to make sure that I spray like the knobs and everything, and I wipe them. Those are like the door knobs, and especially the sink knobs I wash them a few times a day. You know, especially if I come from outside and I touch that knob, I'll spray it and then just wash it off with soap. So kitchen liquid soap for the dishes is really good, and you just dilute it with water and in a spray bottle and use it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the answer. But yeah, so you know, you have to be very, very careful. Keep your door closed and keep the area where it's common area. I don't know how much you're sharing with that person, but you know, if you're sharing a bathroom and a kitchen, that's a real issue, right? Um, because it is an issue. Like, I mean, the best thing for this person, if they can, is to like get food from outside and you know, not to, and that's also not good. Like, I don't recommend anybody getting food from outside. Okay, so yeah, the roommate is in his own room, and I got you got what? I didn't get that. doTERRA going in my room. I'm not sure what that means. It's probably obviously me. I don't understand the word. Sorry. But so yeah. So how does he prepare his own food? Like, I mean, you know, stay away from this same area. Like, if he's been, let's say, in the kitchen, try not to go there right away if you're going to be preparing food and drink. Okay, and wear a mask all the time, and if you can, wear disposable gloves, because when you, like, pretty much with everything that you're touching at home, that's the common area. Okay, and then I mean, you know, if you can afford, buy those gloves, and that's one of the best things that I can recommend, wearing a mask, and you know, pretty much like wearing a gear as if you were going outside as soon as you leave your door room. Oh, okay. So and okay, so essential oil, so is that something for like breathing? Because I have not heard of that one before. But yeah, doTERRA, yeah. So yes, essential oils are good. Like, I mean, if you now if you have epilepsy, I don't know if you guys are aware that eucalyptus is actually not good for people with epilepsy. So for some people, it can actually make their situation worse. So there are other things other than eucalyptus, which I already mentioned chamomile and mint. So an alternative to eucalyptus would be a mint. Okay, to facilitate the breathing. Okay, and to help easy breathing. Okay, and to deal with with anything that you want to add to, like a vapor that's going all over your room right now. Yes. So yeah, she says yes, I do have epilepsy. Okay. So yeah, so eucalyptus would probably not be good for you. I mean, it says it's recommended. It's not recommended for people with epilepsy, because like everything affects us on the chemical level as well, even if it is through the air. Okay, so you know, people may not think, oh, you know, it's just through the air. We breathing it, everything affects us. Okay, even the magnetic field, everything affects us. So we got to be careful when it comes to that. So yeah, I didn't finish talking. I was gonna talk about water treatment when the person has you know, they have a flu, and so frequent showers You know, especially for you when you have someone there who is in the same apartment, make sure that you keep the, if you are sharing a bathroom, that the bathtub is like really clean, and soap is one of the best things that you can use for washing it. Okay, so let's say you're using Comet or whatever it is that you're using to wash it, and use the soap, because soap is the one that's gonna give the saponins in the soap is the one that's gonna give that slide to those bugs and gonna put them right in the drain. Okay, so that's what works the best. And water and soap together, and then frequent shower, so at least once a day. Okay, take that shower. If you outside, let's say you've been outside, you had, well, obviously you have to come out of the room before you go to bed. Okay, before you go to sleep, take a shower, so you're not going to sleep in you know, with everything that kind of lingered to your clothing, and you know, anything that you touched, and your hair and stuff. So you know, even if you don't wash your hair with the let's say with the shampoo every day, you know, at least wash it off. You can use soap. Now the reason I'm saying is because actually I've been washing my hair with soap for the past way over a year, probably a couple of years now, and I prefer it to shampoo. Once in a while I will use shampoo. Like the soap, it's a little bit different. Like the hair feels a little bit different, it's a little bit drier and stuff like that. But I feel clean when I wash my hair with the soap. So you know, this is just something that you guys, you know, can try. Um, the hair is not as shiny because it doesn't have all those, you know, additives that they add to the shampoos and stuff. And this is not because I do have shampoos. I actually have like 3 different shampoos that I'm not using, and you know, like my daughter just ends up using them because I just prefer soap to wash my hair, and you know, I like the cleanliness that I feel after the soap. Okay, so going back to the water. So water treatment, of course, with the safety, because you know, when you have epilepsy, that also is a huge caution when it comes to um, uh, showers, okay, and dealing with water. Now, if you are a caregiver for a person with epilepsy, I would suggest baths. Okay, there are Epsom salt baths to help you feel better if you feel pain. I do not recommend, guys, if you have epilepsy, you have seizures, please do not take baths because that's not safe. Okay, and yeah, I'm against that, you know, and I'm just saying for your own safety. Do sit in the bath, in the bathtub showers if you have, you know, with the handheld shower head. If you have tonic-clonic seizures, just for safety, always have someone there with you. That's for safety as well. And apparently water is the one that's gonna help facilitate a lot of um, a lot of making things easier when where it comes to having a flu, having a cold, or coronavirus. Okay, so hydrating. Okay, first of all, keeping your throat moist all the time, and like I use water. Okay, we use these cups. I just wanted to show you. That's metal cup. I got these because Virginia has tonic-clonic seizures, and she doesn't usually know when they happen, so she almost never knows when they happen, or doesn't let me know, or doesn't pay attention. Like, I mean, before she didn't get any warnings, and now she gets warnings sometimes. So she but sometimes she still ignores it, and that is by then it's too late. But so I got these cups, because these you can have hot water, cold water, you can even actually boil water in those. We got them when we had a Busker Fest in Toronto. And I always told Virginia, they were selling these. I'm gonna have a sip of water. This is the spring water from Canadian Springs, by the way. That we actually went to the springs to get it. Okay, and you guys can find a spring near you by going to findaspring.com. Okay, that's the website, findaspring.com. One word, find a spring. And it shows a lot of springs all over the world. So you may have a spring to get access to free and clean water. All right, clean from all kinds of chemicals that's put in like city water and stuff. We drive over an hour out of town to get our water. So when we do, I put a whole bunch of bottles together, everything that I have, and then we go and get it. And it's super super hard because it's already have mobility problem, and Virginia has epilepsy. So kind of between the two of us, we always go and get that water, because we've been drinking it for years, and there's no better water than that water, like, believe me. So keeping your throat moist, keeping your throat and your passages moist is one of the most important things when it comes to breathing. Okay, when it comes to having the passages clean, and facilitating your body to stay healthy. Okay, when this area dries up, that's when people start getting sick. So if you start feeling your throat is scratchy, you guys go and gargle right away. Remember about the salt, gargling with salt and water. Make sure that it's not too strong. It has to be a very mild solution. So if you're only using like half a cup, don't take my word for it. Go on Google. Make sure that you get, that you educate yourself properly. And before you do, it will only take maybe 10 minutes to find out what's the exact ratio that you need to use. Because I used too much salt, and I burned my tongue, and I burned my throat, and it was a disaster. But just a tip of the salt in half a cup of water, like tip of the salt, tip of a teaspoon, like a small teaspoon. Okay, so it's very very little. Okay, it's not a lot of salt. Okay, it needs to be dissolved really well. So hydrating, being in an environment that's moist. So like sometimes, like today is super humid. I didn't have to actually put a humidifier out, because we are having rain outside. My window is open like 24/7, unless it gets really cold and they don't put the heat here. But my window is open 24/7. So when it's moist outside, when it's raining, then all that humidity comes in here. All right. So actually, it's been super humid and hot in our apartment. And for sleeping, I always put my humidifier on. Guys, if you have a humidifier, if you have a vaporizer, sometimes you'll be able to get like a vaporizer for like $15 at Walmart. Now those vaporizer, they will run out in about an hour, or maybe even less. I can't remember how much exactly, but I have not been using those vaporizers in a long time, because it was really gone and super super fast. And and that thing stays connected, because it was a cheap one. but it was a remedy that I still used, and it still helped us to get through a lot of illnesses. We've had a lot of flus and colds and stuff like that, and I tell my daughter, if don't take any there is no meds for viruses. Okay, so virus is one thing that cannot be taken care of with the traditional medicine. Okay, so you need to take care of it in different ways, and make sure that you facilitate and you help your body to to prevent it first from coming into your body. So that's what I was saying. You feel a little bit of scratch, you gargle right away. Okay, you feel your tonsils are hurting, you gotta gargle. Okay, use that hair dryer. If you get ear infection, ear aches, you get hair dryer. Not too hot. Make sure that it's always warm air. And if you're using it, make sure that somebody is with you, because we're on the epilepsy channel, so this is not just for anybody. Okay, and make sure that you are, or somebody's doing it for you, or you're doing it yourself, or with somebody being there with you all the time, because that's also a safety concern. All right, so hair dryer is very good for ear aches. I have not in years, I have not actually bought anything for my ears in the past, I would say maybe 15 years, from the time that I have learned that I can address that problem with the ear infections, that I can address it with the hair dryer. Okay, and just a few minutes, a few times a day, and it'll go away in 2 or 3 days. You can say bye-bye to it. Okay, so if you feel there's moisture around your ears, first of all, start washing it with soap and water very often throughout the day. Okay, before you go to sleep, and use a hair dryer just to dry the area off, and make sure that you dry out those bugs that are trying to get into your ears. All right, and give you a hard time. Now, Mary, if you could just let me know, are you still there? If you can just let me know how you deal with, how you yourself deal with, your roommate being sick, and are you starting to have any symptoms yourself? Because if you do, then that you got to start and do something right away for yourself. Okay, let us know if you're having any symptoms and what's going on. And Sophie, you've been really, really quiet. How are things at home? How is your mom? Okay, so yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so I was talking about the ears. So yeah, as soon as you get something going on, you address the problem right away. And I learned that throughout my life. And if I kind of said, oh, I'll do it tomorrow because I was tired at the moment, now no matter how tired I am, guys, if I have the sore throat, if I feel the throat, I know that I have to gargle to protect myself. Oh, Latoya. Oh, hi, Latoya. How are you? Virginia is okay. She has, she has been in, going through a lot of mood, dealing with the mood and, emotionally, because she is a very social person and she likes to spend time with friends and whatnot. And because of the pandemic, she's not been able to go out. So that's not been helping, obviously. And so, how are you? How are things with you? Where are you? Are you in the States? Where are you from? So, yeah, okay, so one other problem and one other issue than dealing with the pandemic is the emotional issue and a lot of problems with, mental health. A lot of people are suffering emotionally because of that, and because they no longer have those outlets when they were able to go out with friends, have some fun, have some laughs, go to the movies when it used to be movies, or go to play outside and talk to other people, and go to, like, let's say, I don't know, for dinner, go out with friends. um, I'm good, thanks for asking, and I live in Virginia. Oh, okay, super. Um, so how are things in Virginia there for you guys? Can you share a little bit? Like we here in Toronto, we are on the lockdown right now, and it's gonna be going on for a month, and then they'll see after, which I'm not expecting actually any special, um, like any changes. I think it's just gonna continue throughout the winter, because I think, like, in the winter, when I got sick in the winter before, and I had my flus and pneumonias and stuff, I always, my worst months were usually like December, January, February. Okay, so those are the worst months still to come, and I'm pretty sure that people really should brace themselves, and they should get ready to for worse. Okay, so I mean, for things before they get better, for them to get worse at the present time, because of the weather, and because of the timing, which is the timing for the colds and flu, and it's obviously gonna affect everybody. All right. Now, are you guys on the lockdown in Virginia? How are things there? Do you have to wear masks? Like, I mean, in a lot of places in the States, you guys don't have to, like, you don't have it, you don't have to wear it by law. So I'm just wondering if that has changed. I mean, if it would change for good if people have to wear masks, because I do recommend it to anyone in the pandemic to wear a mask, because that's the best protection. Uh, so things are crazy here in Virginia. There are shortages of everything, and yes, okay. So things are gonna be getting even worse. Okay, because as the time progresses, and a lot of smaller companies that even a lot of big companies have closed down. Okay, so together with a lot of people losing work, there's a lot of companies that do not produce anymore. So whatever has been produced before, because people were always going to work, and they were producing everything that everybody else needs, that's just gonna get worse. Okay, and I'm not just talking about stuff to buy, like electronics or clothing. I'm talking about food, because food is also gonna is very possible it's gonna get very scarce. Okay, and I'm just hoping that with everything that's happening around, that we're gonna be able, that the people are gonna continue, and gonna be able to continue to work. People who deal with the electricity, who produce electricity for us, who deal with water, that those people are gonna be able to continue to work, and that they're going to continue to provide, because I mean that's our survival. We have to we have to have water and we have to have electricity, okay, to survive. I mean, in the northern hemisphere where it gets cold, it's obviously absolutely essential to survive, okay, especially with the winter coming. So yeah, so we have shortages of pretty much everything here too. Uh, there are some items that I no longer see in stores at all. Now I used to buy. We have a Canadian Tire store called Canadian Tire. I used to buy these big rolls of paper at Canadian Tire. They were super cheap. They were very good because we use them for like to like wipe and they're really good because the paper on it was like a delicate. It was recycled paper, but it was like paper. It didn't have the chemical like fibers in it. So myself and Virginia really liked this paper because it was not bad for our skin. Like it didn't irritate both of our skin. It's no longer available. Like for months now, it's not been in the store. I bought four. I think last time I bought 4 packs, and I was hoping to get some more money because I didn't buy more because I didn't have any more money. But if I did, I would have bought a lot more at that time, because now these guys have been. It's been yeah, it's been 4 months, because we go through like one of those packages a month. Yeah, for 4 months the product has not come back on the shelves, and I'm really devastated because I don't really like any other paper towels. And yeah, so food as well. We have to. There are items that are no longer available when it comes to food. Now, how is food situation there in Virginia? Can you tell me if you guys have like your regular? Because we still get a lot of stuff here from the States. Like there's still a lot of food, vegetables and fruits coming here from the States. And so how is the situation with the food over there? Like the stores at some point, like at the beginning of the COVID, when things got really really bad, people started buying everything like crazy. And yeah, so that situation may come back if things get worse. All right, so I mean, if you can store some non-perishable food at home, that you'll be able to like sustain yourself for a bit. If the things get worse, then you should be able to buy some like to have some extra cans at home. Like for example, I got cans of beans, carrots, and corn, and some like lentils and soups and stuff like that. So I got cans of that stuff, some peanut butter, and I've been accumulating this over a year. I don't have a lot, but I like whenever I could, I said, okay, I'm just gonna buy these cans were on special for $1. I bought 5, okay, or like I can buy this peanut butter, and I can get this peanut butter this month, and so we have a little bit there to stored for if suddenly there's like no stuff coming in, right? You never know. Okay, so we're going have to cut down trees and make our own paper if the shortage continues. You know what? I was really, really concerned about that, because I believe that the paper mills would probably be companies or places where they would not have or a lot of them would close down, and we still need paper, and we still need paper towels, and we need toilet paper. So those things are still essential. Here in Canada, people went crazy when the pandemic first started, and they went like bazooka. Oh my God! They bought all the toilet paper and all the paper towels in the stores were the shelves were empty. Even food, people were fighting for food, and it was crazy. Okay, so I mean, I hope it's not gonna get to that. It's a possibility that it will, depending on how long this is gonna continue, and how how things play out. So the ratio of how many people are getting sick from how many are healthy, and how many recuperate. So I mean the recuperation ratio and to how many people get sick, it's still pretty good. I mean, by statistic, by statistic way. So anyone has learned anything about the Spanish flu, because I was talking about it and I forgot. So the Spanish flu was here 100 years ago. And so I was watching a lot of like movies, and I wanted to get information about what happened 100 years ago, how it has affected the population. So there was 50 million people affected in a critical way, meaning they did not survive, and it has it has wiped out a lot of population at that time. And obviously that's not a scenario right now, because even with the masks, because I was seeing some pictures of the pandemic time when where they're showing the soldiers with the masks on. Okay, and I don't know how they managed to get a photo that old, but they were showing the soldiers with the mask on. And so so I guess at the end of it's lasted for 2 years. At the end of the 2 years, they probably learned, okay, yeah, we have to wear masks to protect ourselves. We know that the closed when you're in a closed room with someone, that's the worst thing. And they had soldiers, well, in those situations. So a lot of soldiers actually suffered because of that. And I have to be careful, like what words I use here, so I don't exactly say what what I want to say, but because of the restrictions on the platform. Okay, but so a lot of soldiers paid for that, because when they were traveling on the ships and stuff like that. So just going back and using that information from the past, okay, saying, okay, so the last coronavirus, which was the Spanish flu, it was a coronavirus. The last coronavirus, that lasted for 2 years, okay, and obviously it affected so many people. And so obviously I got that information from the net, so I didn't learn it from experience. I'm just repeating what I learned from the media. And so you learn from the past, okay, and if they knew then that protecting yourself with wearing a mask is a great protection, then that was the first step, right? Like, in this pandemic, when they started saying, oh, I should wear a mask, then, oh, we don't, not everybody has to wear a mask. Okay, now everybody has to wear a mask. If they got to the point where, yeah, everybody should have been wearing a mask, 100 years ago, then it should have been the same thing applied now. It's a common sense. It's very logical, okay? And you gotta do what's logical with what makes sense. You just think, oh, they were using this, we should use it as well. So yeah. So on the point where a shortage of, especially a shortage of food. Okay, I wanted to talk about that because I have actually started going to a food bank to help us to be able to sustain ourselves. The food, everything went up. So in pricing, including the cost of living, apartment wise, everything went up. Okay, and the prices are going up everywhere because now that the businesses have to deal with extra, using extra money for cleaning and for facilitating whatever they have to address with the pandemic, they have to build that price into everything that they sell. Okay, so obviously they have to make money as well. All right, and if you have any questions, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I will be having a Q&A live streams. Okay, once a week. I'm gonna start doing this once a week, and I'm gonna have other ones as well, and I'm gonna let you know when they're gonna happen. But the Q&A, I want to put it at a certain time of during the day, so we can have actually more people watching. Today I got around to this already late. I was not feeling well actually throughout the day, so I had my naps. So I recommend going to sleep if you guys are not feeling well. Okay, if you feeling that your body is not feeling well, and you're feeling super sleepy and tired, and you feel like you need to sleep, you go to sleep. Okay, it is very, very important. Your body needs to recuperate. It only recuperates when you sleep. Your body does not rebuild your cells when you're moving around because it's too busy doing all the other functions. Okay, so sleeping is one of the most important things that you need to address when it comes to staying healthy. Okay, and especially in a pandemic time. Okay, so I have started doing an exercise program, and this is something that I'm going to be doing every day now if I can, because my health only permits my body to go so far. Today I'm going to be doing a live stream actually later on Twitch. I do it really late because well, for now it's because I have had issues during the day when I was doing the dance exercise. When I was doing the day, it had a lot of lag, and it actually didn't go very well. Like the live stream didn't go very well because a lot of people are using internet here in this area. But you are welcome to come on the dance exercise with me. If you're familiar with Twitch, then just go to Twitch. If you're not, it's another platform of like video platform, just like you. Well, not just, but just something similar to YouTube. It's mostly for gamers, and also people go over there and produce. They produce videos over there. So right now I've been doing the dance with music sessions over there, and I'm streaming live from Amazon Prime Music, so you can enjoy super cool music and dancing with me for an hour every day if you're up to it. Okay, I highly recommend exercising every day. So one more tip for today when it comes to pandemic and staying healthy. It is to exercise every day, to move your body, to make sure that you move your lymphatic system. It's the only way your body cleanses. There's no other way, okay? People think, yeah, you know, I gotta go to the bathroom, that's how my body cleanses. No, the true cleansing of your cells, okay, goes through your lymphatic system, and your lymphatic system only moves when your body moves. Okay, that's why people who are bedbound, they need to be moved around, they need to be turned over and stuff like that if they cannot move themselves, because it is absolutely necessary. The body does not move the lymph itself. There's no pump. We have a pump for the blood, we don't have a pump for the lymphatic system. Okay, exercise. So I'm doing my I started a global exercise movement. I'm highly recommending it. Guys, come to Twitch. Come on Twitch with me, and you can come and exercise with me and have some fun, and you know, have some laughs and enjoy the music and enjoy the exercise. Now, Latoya, do you have any questions? Because I'm at about an hour. I was gonna do half an hour. I think I'm about an hour and a half mark, close to it anyway. And so I'm gonna have another live stream that I have already queued for on my health channel, and then I'm gonna be doing the exercise, or I think, you know, I'm gonna be dancercise first. No, because last time I did that, and then I had to then I did the stream after, and I was like all sweaty, and that didn't feel good. It's best to like take a shower right after the exercise. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the live stream on the health channel first, and then in about an hour I will go to Twitch. Alright? And my name on Twitch is Real Excel for you. So as you see my Real Excel over there, it's a Real Excel, and then number 4, and then U. So just a U, just a letter U. I don't know if I could. I don't have a paper. I should have had like a paper and show on the paper. Yeah, Real Excel for you. Let me see if I can get that out. No, not on this. Oh, okay. I got it here. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's Real Excel, like Real Excel, and then for you. That's on Twitch. Let me just get that out for you. Is it showing? Oh, I gotta see it. I gotta see if it's showing on my other player. Where's my other player? There. Okay. So this could be mirrored, so I'm not sure if it is. Yeah, it's mirrored right now, because it feels like when I'm showing it, it's the other way. This way. Okay. So Real Excel for you. Okay. So this is for the global exercise movement that I have started, and this movement is to help people to get into the groove, and to help people to move their bodies, to stay healthy, because I believe, and in my life and in my experience, my health was always the best when I was working out. Always. There was no question about it. At one point I was doing 1 hour of aerobic dancing, well, mixed my own dancercise moves with aerobic dancing, and I did it for like over a year. And then for the next 2 years, even though I have quit doing the exercises, for the next 2 years I not a sniffle, not a cold, not not the flu touched me for the next couple of years, until, the body finally, started getting sick because I wasn't moving enough. But what I'm saying, I want to show you, and I want, from experience, I want to get this super important information out, to say that exercise is one of the best ways of cleansing your body and staying healthy as well. So I highly recommend. Now, Latoya, if you can exercise, I would not recommend. I don't know if you guys are on lockdown, because I don't think you said if you were. But if you're not on a lockdown, I would suggest that if you can, you go out for walks. Okay, being outside, vitamin D is super important. So I will post links to some of the supplements that are super important for every function of your body. Okay, so you need vitamin D, okay, and magnesium. I'm gonna put, especially for people with epilepsy, vitamin D, magnesium, because you're staying indoors a lot, so you need the vitamin D supplement, okay, because you're not out in the sun enough. And well, neither am I. So I take vitamin D supplement, and my daughter does. And so magnesium, and I also recommend taking protein supplement for people with seizures. Protein, especially with if you have tonic-clonic seizures, a lot of energy goes out that way. And or if you're vegan, if you're trying to stay away from animal products at this time, which is the best thing that you can do for yourself, because a lot of animals are getting sick all over the world, and that's not good. And I wouldn't want to be eating animal products from an animal that had the coronavirus. So that's one thing to consider. And I would highly recommend eating as much produce eating as much produce as you can. Instead of, let's say, meat, incorporate lentils, which is super high in protein, okay, and beans, very high in protein, a lot of beans. And beans have a lot of saponin in it, so they are also very good for you throughout the pandemic time. And that's my own personal recommendation. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna finish up, and I still have a lot to share, and we're gonna do that on the next live stream. So I'm hoping that you guys gonna come, and I'm gonna post these. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna post these again, like I did before, in the community tab, and that should get us information out to you when I'm gonna be doing the next live stream. Because to prepare the thumbnail and all the stuff, to go through the stuff that I'm doing on YouTube, then it's not showing when I'm going through a different player, which I am right now. So then I lose all that information and all the time that I spent preparing it. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know on the community tab in on our channel. Okay, it should give you notifications. If you have all the notifications turned on for our channel, then you will get the notification every time a live stream or a videos come out. Okay, so that's it for today. I didn't see any questions. So Latoya, I know you're probably the one who's still here. So thank you for being with us, guys, and lots of love to all of you, and I'll see you in the live stream next time. Okay, take care. Mwah. Come and visit to do some exercise with my beautiful gems everybody who comes to my live stream on Twitch. I'm gonna do some also on YouTube, but I gotta find out how I'm gonna work out the music, because all of these platforms have different music rules. So yeah, that's kind of just to get around it. It's not easy. And so yeah, I call everybody who comes on my exercise workout program. I exercise to the music, okay? And this is very super easy exercise. It's dance exercise, super easy, because I'm just starting out, so I can't do a lot, all right? But I do give a lot of tips while I'm working out, and also just for fun and just to spend time together. It's a super cool time to pass, all right, and get some energy out, and good for relieving stress, and yeah, and feeling better altogether. And I'm telling you right now, I already been doing it for more than a week, and I feel better. I'm in a lot of pain. I kind of, when I get tired, I kind of drop and go to sleep like right away. There's nothing that I can continue doing. I have to sleep right away. But yeah, so please share, give it a thumbs up, okay? And share it for epilepsy awareness and to support our channel, alright? Mwah. Ciao.